This is IMMF.
Tamales like that. They get them corn tamales especially when they got that good pork in that bitch with that chili. Ah, what's up, Rim? Well, I mean, if I'm Captain, that must mean you got to be Rim, man. Yeah. Do it come in the bag? That good pollo, nigga. You should give you the sauce to go with the shit. So it's a, hey, ¿qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Gracias, gracias, bueno, bueno, bueno. Let me tell you, Jack. I'm from Florida, so I was blessed with the privilege to where we have Mexican tamales, which is typically the corn tamales formed around the protein. You got Puerto Rican tamales, which is the same premise. Well, Puerto Rican slash Cuban tamales, which is the same premise, except they chop up the meat so it's like meat chunks through there, as opposed to the corn being formed, the traditional Mexican tamales. And then you have pasteles, which I believe is like I want to say I forget what the fuck pasteles made out of. I want to say they made out of plantains, but it's a traditional Puerto Rican dish. It's similar to the tamale, but they put like raisins and shit in that bitch. It sounds fucked up, Jack. Same thing. Same. If you would have told me about a motherfucking pork verde tamale 30 years ago, man, hell no. Now, nigga, get up, get up. Oh, and you for $1.75, man, get that shit here, man. Get it here. Enhance that bitch. That's just yeah, I've seen that. Hey, that. Then when they talk about penny candy, yeah, man, you get a bag of candy for a penny. Or I just get two fingers of reefer for $5. Oh, listen, you got to bring that nigga back from the other dimension, Jack. For real. You got to pull him in. That nigga in the Matrix, he about to glitch out in a minute, boy. For real. That nigga about to glitch out. Think about them 2 fingers of reefer. I better nobody fuck with him. That nigga will die. Hell yeah, for real. You got to be the ghost whisperer. Come on back, school. Come on back. Real school. Ain't real. That was Jay Z with the with the grunt wearing the New York hat and the button up. Yeah, nigga, I was dressed up like an African named Pap, nigga, for real. I had a motherfucking button up shirt, motherfucking church, a church shirt, some slacks, and some motherfucking some generic lug boots, nigga. Yeah, yes, yes. Funk Master Flex was on top of the world at that time, by the way. Oh. They were called Dubs. They was called Dubs because he had the rims to go with them too. They were doing with the Dubs. It was the Marbury. Bro, if niggas had the marketing genius we had today, that's why I said we're 150 years behind white folk. If we had the marketing genius that about today, based on the influence we had back then, like nigga, imagine if AI would have came out with some motherfucking braid rubber bands. Think about that shit. Like, nigga, if Jay Z would have had his own wave cap, have been like, man, fuck rocking they hats, we gonna rock our own hats. Yeah, they did. Yeah, well, yeah. That was a completely different era. But you were saying in regard to 0405 with the tamale joint. Mm. Oh, you one of them niggas. Mm. Let's say nigga get lightheaded. Slow down, slow down, slow
No, no, about 3 hours away from me. And on the way back, I'm driving. I'm on the freeway by myself. About 12:30. I'm about 45 minutes away from Dallas. and I was I was laughing at this. I don't know if you're familiar with this white comedian. He used to be on Dave Chappelle's show. Bill Burr. I was listening to one of his comedy specials in my ear, and I'd heard it before. But he told his joke, and his joke was so fucking hilarious. It was this joke about this kid that had Tourette's and shit. I remember he came to the punchline of that shit, and I laughed so fucking hard, nigga, that my body seized up. And, like, my eyes was open, but barely. And, nigga, I drifted from one lane over 2 lanes, nigga. If there was any more cars in that bitch, I would have died. I would have hit the other car. I would have died from laughing.
Damn. You better than me, nigga. I used to have a convertible, nigga. My shit was like Night Ride.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. Every time I think about you driving, I just remember you was like, shit, nigga, I was a party on wheels. So I got you like,
yes, nigga.
Ripping through the city,
nigga. Nigga, it was my first convertible. The top wouldn't go down, so I had to manually pull the top up. So when it start raining, like the first 10 minutes of the rain, I got to judge to see if it's gonna rain hard or not. So I'm literally riding through the city, nigga, with the top up. Rain hit, knocking my ass all across the motherfucking head, nigga. People looking at me as they riding by like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He take this Florida shit serious. Nigga, that bitch used to have an autopilot on it, nigga. I used to be able to go to the club, nigga, get pissy drunk. And just wake up, that bitch is home, and all I hear is, we're home, Michael. And nigga, I get out, stumble up out that bitch, nigga. I used to stay upstairs. I fell asleep at the base of the stairs one day. Woke up, the little Mexican kids poking me with a stick and shit to see if I'm alive.
Es lo muertes. Es lo muertes.
El Gordo out. El Gordo out.
El Gordo no conscientes.
He breathing rapido. Rapido breathing. Nigga. That bitch, dog. I used to flame that bitch out. That bitch used to smell like straight vodka. Yes, indeed. Because, you know, we was in Florida and I used to keep a bottle in the back. And I had got that Zvedka vodka.
I've been there.
Yeah, had put that bitch in the trunk, nigga. It was like 105 degrees in Florida that day. So like 140, nigga, top done exploded. Vodka just in there, man. And I was like, as opposed to going to get that bitch up holster, I was like, fuck it. Who cares? I didn't know that on the Sebring models in which I had, that the air that they get to pull out, they pull out from the convertible top. I mean, neither, but somehow when I cranked that bitch up, nigga, it smelled like straight vodka.
nigga, AC just blowing vodka.
Nigga, heat vodka, AC vodka. Women used to get into the car and be like, this shit smells funny.
I thought they were getting naked. I thought they were getting adopted in a bit. That was chloroform and shit.
Oh, nigga, I used to do some shit like Goldie, nigga, hit that motherfucking highway with all them lights on that bridge by that water. Get on that bitch going by the clean 45. Yeah. Put on that motherfucking slow down Isley Brothers. Prove with you. Riding, nigga. Them whole that they ride. We hit that spot by that airport where you see that plane go over that water. That heart and that lip get the quivering. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Yeah. 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 Let's pull over. Nigga, the worst thing, I was a big nigga too. I had no business.
That big nigga fucking in the Chrysler Sebring, boy. You agile as shit.
Nah, nigga, ain't no roof on that bitch, nigga, so ain't.
y'all up against the moonlight like hot damn wolves. Like
most fucked up thing, nigga. I had a bitch giving me some motherfucking head in the whip, calling about this bitch, right? So she giving me some head in the whip. I didn't realize her ass was up to the window until we stopped at the red light, and dude was looking.
Yeah. Motherfucker cheered your ass up.
Yes, no, nigga was getting straight back shots for real. Yeah, the car's only this big. So I'm a big nigga, so she has to get into this bitch. So she over here facing the lap, ass in the F. Window, just riding around doing my civil service for the city.
Party on wheels, indeed.
Yes, indeed, man. Pull up, music playing. I'm trying not to buy me a nothing. Let's put it like that. I'm trying not like the memories I got with that bitch. I'm trying not to buy me a nothing.
They still make them whole?
Yeah, yeah. They got updated models. Oh, man, I had about 3 on them.
Oh, that was your trademark.
Oh, nigga, pull up in that bitch, nigga. Knock the pictures off your wall. And I always said I'm gonna put some music in that bitch. I ain't never do it though. Yeah, but nigga, I had a lot of fun, whole lot of fun. But when you speak on that bitch about driving and swerving, nigga, all I can think about is that autopilot, boy. For real, Kit saved my life. Michael, watch out. We here.
Oh, those days. You know,
Yeah.
You know who probably wish they can go back in time?
Who that?
Kanye. Kanye been fucking up left and right and left.
Can we agree on something real quick before we get into it? When you leave a black woman, Jack, and you don't got no other black woman to hold you down, to anchor you into reality, nigga, can we say that this what happened?
I want to disagree, but I don't have the evidence for it. So I'll let it ride for right now.
I'm not shaming interracial marriage or nothing like that. No, but I have to acknowledge. But see, if you marry a woman outside your race or outside the black race, usually you got your mama or sister, you got an anchor or a daughter, you got somebody to anchor you back into black.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you know, like every now and again, a woman need to call you, "Hey, nigga, no."
Like that's not what. Listen. It's weird. It's weird. Well, I ain't gonna say that's what you learn from black women, but I'll say that it's not like I ate a lot of steak growing up. I ate pepper steak, right? But not just like steak. One of the first lessons that I got taught about steak was from a black woman. And which, like, I went to the steakhouse. Keep in mind, I got dope money. I went to the steak. Never had steak before. Went to the steakhouse. Shit, dude was like, "How do you want your steak?" And in my mind, I'm like, "On a plate."
Well done.
No, on a plate. She was like, I was like, "What you mean?" She interjected. She was like, "He'll take it well done," and then he walked off. She said, "Sweetie, you black. You always want your steak well done." But it's like, huh? you go around your right friends and shit, be like, "Yeah, I'm getting my steak well done." What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, rare, medium rare.
So then you start to learn, like, oh, that's a black rule. Oh, she was giving me black guidance, and that's kind of what you get. That's kind of what you get. I don't know how Keisha would have told Kanye how to take a steak. Kim probably had him eating that medium rare.
Eating that blue meat, eating the moo on that motherfucker.
I almost choked.
For real. Serve it with the moo, please. Hell no, nigga, you better put some fire. Now, I will say this. When I was young, I would not have eaten my steak anyway, but meat well done.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
And I'm a man. Yeah. I need that bitch medium to medium well now, Jack.
Listen. She's told me, "You black. You eat your steak well done." And I did for many years. And then I got a medium rare. Medium well. I was like, I'm never eating well done again. This is what I'm trying to make is, she gave me guidance. She gave me black guidance. She was horribly wrong, but she gave me black guidance.
The nigga Andre 3000 actually said, I met a gypsy and she hit me to some life game to stimulate and activate the left and right brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say, baby boy, you only funky as your last
You
cut.
focus on the passion ass of me or what?
Yes, what a has butt, that's words to live by, either that's words to die to. Like, nigga, like they either gonna tell you some extremely real shit or some shit that's gonna get you killed. Three Stacks said it, man. Ain't my
I think it comes from a place of best interest. So I get what you're saying. I think there's a genuine love. I think that comes from genuine love, but there's a genuine love that I think that's expressed amongst races. We was talking one time, you and I, and we was talking about. I can't remember how we got on it, but we were talking about how like you'll see like you might see like an okay to bad white chick with some busted beat down that white dude. You'd be like, how did this happen? You're like, shit, because like motherfuckers marry, you know, out of that racial contract, that racial convenience. She's willing to put up with that because this is a sure thing versus kind of risking it on other races.
So you about to jump off the ledge now. You know I'm single out here now.
So going back to what Kanye is experiencing, like I said, I want to disagree with you because it sounds wrong, but there's a lot of accuracy to it.
Yeah, I mean the proof is in the pudding, man. Like when his mother passed and he broke up with his high school sweetheart, he's been on a financial ascension, but a moral declination.
Huh. What?
Do you understand? Yeah. Because I see you hit me with the hun. Do you understand what I just said?
But I'm thinking like he broke up with his high school sweetheart well before his mother passed away, right? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No. When he started to do the money, remember, like, think about his old music. She gives me money. But she ain't messing with no broke nigga. Like, dude, the nigga got that bread, played in the snow, and got turned out by the ice queen.
Shut the fuck up.
But I'm saying, though.
Nigga said he got Elsa. Shut up.
Yeah, for real, nigga. But it's like, you know, more often than not, right? Yeah. Black celebrities that tend to go out and do the outside dating thing and do the outside race thing, do the baby mama thing with non-black women, they usually come back getting financially beat. You know what I'm saying? Like it costs them more than anything. Look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods' wife made a clean $250 million.
But I mean, you got niggas like Jordan, who kind of went the opposite direction, right?
Yeah, well, he had his kids, had his black children. Now he's Jordan fucking broke for it.
He done his part. Jordan be like, I done my part, niggas.
Nigga. What Carl Weathers was in Apollo Creed. That nigga turned into Apollo Creed on the mode, dude. I want you.
Shut the fuck up.
For real, like that's all Jordan do, nigga. Come up, baby. Come on, baby, let's lay down. Mm-hmm. Baby, let's lay down.
So,
and you know, you see it more often than not. Like it's almost like horror stories, right? Oh, here we go. Great movie premise. Black man coming up out the hood, struggles, finally hits it rich, and get caught up with the ice queen, and gets all his paper drained up out of him, and back to the hood you go.
Now he that old nigga on the stoop, zoning out. Remember the time when
Yeah, you got your mixed babies pulling up in a Mercedes, and you in the projects and
they
shit.
call you your bum because you stay in the hood. They don't know the whole story.
Yeah, man. Like I think that'll be a great horror story.
No, that's not. That's not a great horror story. It's not a great horror
It is,
story.
nigga. It is, for real. And like, well, she don't take your money, she take your life force.
Money. Do.
So you start aging backwards and shit like
Okay,
that.
now it's coming. Now it's coming more like you start withering and shit, nigga.
Yeah, on the thinner side of the game.
Then it was dope.
When that girl put up that dress and showed that big old monkey, nigga, young man had no business seeing that.
Hey, why we bullshitting? Shout out to the nigga that played it. That was a hell of an actor. He went through 4 different phases.
Yeah. Messing around with that gypsy. Now, here's the thing. Do you know what gypsy is short for? Egyptian.
No. A gypsy is
Yeah.
short for Egyptian. Well, let me ask you something. When they say you gyp me, is that what they talking about? Like, okay, all right. So, all right. So today class, gyp is short for gypsy. Gypsy is short for Egyptian.
Root word being Egyptian, yeah. Like, keep in mind, with the middle part of Africa, they don't consider
Mesopotamian or some shit like that. Romanian or
Mesopotamian.
Yeah, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that's the Middle East, which is the Horn, which is right there the passage of Africa, right there from Egypt to go through Israeli and all that other shit, and Palestine and all that other shit. So when they say that, and they be like, they're not considered African anymore because they're there. So that's what the term they get all of the riches of Egypt with none of the taxes. That's where the term Egyptian come from. And then the people who would wander, the Mongols, who would wander between back and forth, going back to Genghis Khan, Mongols, those were not Middle Eastern people. Those were Egyptians, a.k.a. gypsies. They had no home. Yeah, pretty interesting shit. But I think her name was Ali Larter, who played the chicken now, had a big old boob, nice skin tone.
I don't remember that bullshit. I just remember he had picked up a prostitute.
Oh, nigga, fuck that. I remember that pussy.
That nigga was like, you killed my daughter. And I just remember thinking, like, how old is your daughter? Because you old. And she was old. How old is y'all niggas, man? Because you real old, but that's your daughter? She was real old.
Yeah, man.
Dinner. Shit, nigga.
Dinner. Yeah, got his ass. But that's if he would have stuck with that Snow Queen and went straight outside and shit, he would have been straight. I see you take offense to certain things of which I say.
I just remember the end of that shit when that nigga walked in and his daughter was eating that pie. He could just sit there and just started eating the pie. Then it was fucked up.
Fuck it.
Stephen King wrote that shit, didn't
he? Yeah.
That nigga ain't shit.
Yeah.
Stephen King ain't shit, boy.
Yeah, but dude, these are victims of dating for something outside of love, or loving for something outside of love, right?
And I think that's more so the thing. When something outside of love, whether it's lust or that I don't know, I guess admiration would be the word I use, but it's not like
a theory.
Well,
I have a theory.
What's up?
I think that a lot of men tend to like, you grow up, especially in a black household, growing up in our generation and currently, right? you grow up in a household with women, and when you grow up in a household with women, you see some fucked up shit that women do. Well,
Uh-huh.
like women fucked up. Women some awful creatures sometimes. Like they be putting they bullshit up under the sink, and you can't say nothing about it.
Uh-huh.
You know, and you grow up. You argue with these women every day. To some degree, you can even hate those women in some cases.
Yeah.
Or if you got a large family and everybody in your family dark skinned, you probably would think it's kind of weird to want something that look like your family, right?
I see where you're trying to go. I think you're reaching, but I see where you're trying to go. Think a motherfucker's traumatized into wanting something other than what he's been exposed to all his life.
Correct. Like if you grow up and you like think about a lot of football players, right? A lot of football players, you a big nigga, tall, goofy, lanky, and broke. Which is an awful combination, right? Like we all know you can't be a big nigga and be broke. Like you're going to have a very tough time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you grow up like that and all you get is the worst that women got to offer,
Yeah.
right? And then not only do you get the worst that women got to offer, the women that are available to you are the leftover women. So literally, you grow up until you get you some money. You experience women who put themselves first and don't put you first. So then you get that snow queen. She's sucking you. What cut they say? She sucking you, fucking you. She wasn't doing all that when you before you went to the war, was she? Now you got this snow queen, and she's on the drop of a dime. She on them knees. Beautiful, beautiful. She'll do anything for me. She even swallows anything. And you start to associate that to that good love.
Mm.
Now you get that image in your mind of what love is. It's white women from here on out for me, Jack.
Dude, because all this is centered around that nigga Ye. Is there any type of personal responsibility that he holds? Like, this is this nigga's doing. You know what I'm saying?
When Doctor Strange went into the multiverse of madness, he no longer was in his world. Did you see Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? Yes, and when you're not in your world no more, you got to abide by other people's rules.
Well, you would think that, but have you seen Multiverse of Madness? That nigga did everything. That nigga was a rule bucker. Like he played within the confines of the laws of physics, but even then he was like, shit, I'll outthink it. Like that's how that nigga was rolling though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they was killing him in his own world, right? Like the dead Doctor Strange got killed where he was at. The other Doctor Strange ruined his universe. Like he was stuck. What it was is wherever Doctor Strange went, the other versions of Doctor Strange did some wild shit. That was like, it's just not the problem. Isn't them? It's you, Steven.
Yeah.
And that's Kanye. Like Kanye, at this point, he's so deep in the game, dog. You got your children with this demonic bitch. You got you got your money tied up behind these people. And now since you ain't a billionaire, they not putting you on TV like they was 2 months ago. Real talk. Like this the part of the horror movie where they start like in Thor, nigga, when he took the shit off Thor.
Wait, what you talking about when he got stripped of his powers, nigga?
Dude, his money. Dude, they stripped Kanye of everything. His kids, he just got fucked up in the settlement, and they know he going broke.
Nigga got
so
$200,000 a month.
and all his kids under 10 years old, Jack. So up until the age of 26, 200,000 a month
2.4.
equals 2.4 times 16, 32, $40 million. He's on the hook for $40 million and went from being a billionaire to having worth of $200 million and now has a $40 million liability. And also he doesn't wield the power that he wielded 2 months ago because now the news outlets ain't covering you. Truthfully, don't nobody want to hear you make no music right now.
Yeah, see, niggas like, I'm about to drop an album. Niggas like, we don't care. We don't care. We don't care.
Yeah. Jay-Z ain't fucking with you, so you don't got no ties to Asgard no more. You cast down to earth without the hammer.
Every week we just watching this nigga try to go after it. The public just Hawkeye just watches nigga. I'm starting to root for this guy. Better tell me something.
Father! It's a bad space right now for Yeezy, Chad. It's a bad space for Yeezy. What did it say? The sacrifice. Nigga got to put his life on the line for something, Jack, in order to come back.
Yeah.
It's a bad space.
Yeah. That nigga had to go. That nigga, he know what he got to do. Thor had to risk it all. He's like, look, I'm sorry for what I did. I fucked up. Don't make everybody else suffer for my mistake. Just take me instead. Shit.
Yeah. And he'll be returned. He who possesses. He who is worthy.
Right back on stage, shaking hands with Adidas again. Right back in it.
Dude, oh shit. Nigga, talk about a marketing campaign, though, nigga. The Air Yeezys, nigga. Uh-huh. He who is in the possession of these sneakers shall possess the power of Yeezy.
Like the great Phoenix rises from the ashes. The prodigal son has returned.
Nigga, that's a hell of a marketing campaign. But
and then as soon as that nigga start taking the medicine, he right back. I'm going DEFCON 3s on June. They put it at right back there.
Nah, that nigga he gonna get the wielding that Yeezy, that lightning Yeezy, and throw it at that white bitch. That white bitch gonna catch that Yeezy and crush that whole nigga.
Nigga said Ragnarok.
Yes. It's the whole movie arc, nigga. Kanye is star, baby. Think about that shit.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah. And if it lines up, we only witnessing the first movie. We still got 2 years of trash ass Dark World. We still got 2 years of trash ass Dark World. And then it's gonna be Ragnarok.
So basically, he on Dark World right now. Ooh, he fight
a whole bunch of no-name ass elves. Ain't nobody worried about who this nigga.
The Shadow. He fighting the Shadow right now.
This nigga went up against Donald Trump. He was like, you can be my brother. Donald was like, nigga, if you don't get the fuck out of my face.
Nigga, I'm still a white man. Fuck you. I ain't lost it. Shit, Easy, you fucked up.
You see this nigga? Yeah, smack the shit out you.
Yeah. He fighting the Shadow League, Jack. Yeezy out there bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the story arc in which Yeezy got to travel, man. But do you think that paying 200,000 a month to a woman who's a billionaire is like this? Do you need
Do I
it?
think it's excessive? Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's where I'm at on child support. I think it can get excessive, but I also feel that child support tends to hurt niggas that don't take care of their kids. What I
Mm.
mean by that is, right now I do okay, right? I'm blessed, but I also take care of my kids. If I were to be put on child support right now, I'm gonna lose money financially, but it's not gonna be too much more than what I already spend on my kids voluntarily.
Well, I mean, how much it costs to put a roof over a motherfucker head? You got to pay rent,
Well,
right?
and there's the other part of it. Yeah, I mean, the other part of it is I make it a mission of mine. I make it a model of mine to not count other people's pockets. You do that, you'll never be happy
No,
unless you're
I
shitting
agree.
on somebody. So like, I'm upset. We can be upset that he has to pay $40 million. But even if he did right now, out of $200 million, if he had to pay $40 million, he's still up $160 million. I think it'd be alright.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be alright.
my problem with the concept of child support, right? Now, I'm all for the shit. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong. I don't want to be one of them niggas be like,
Yeah.
nah, man, you shouldn't put nigga on no child. Nigga don't take care of his kids. Nigga, you got to take care of your fucking kids.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Yeah.
And my philosophy on the shit is the only thing I have a problem with is telling the person that this is the mandatory in which they have to pay, right? Like you're not allowed to have a misstep in the system of child
What you
support.
mean?
Let's say you get fucked up financially. You go to the
Oh
doctor,
yeah.
and what typically costs $50 now costs $500. So now, if you didn't have planned in your budget to have this taken care of, and you get caught off guard on how my adult life
Mm-hmm.
works, right? I've always been the type of person. Me and my brother have afforded each other the opportunity, keep our bills low and our money
Yeah.
high, right? So, but with that being said, I have a check where I pay a bulk of my bills, and then the other check is, or checks, depending on if I get paid weekly or bi-weekly, is my money. So I would imagine if a person has their money budgeted, and well, okay, I paid 300 a month in 300 money, a lot of money, 600 a month in Actually, as I think about it, paying 300 a month on child support, you was a low ass nigga. That's pretty low.
I pay.
I mean, think about how, like, even if a person I eat, it costs me roughly between $8 to $15 a day on a regular day to
Yeah.
eat, right? So if I'm doing rounded off, let's say $12 a day,
Okay.
that's $360 a month,
Yeah.
and that's not doing
Well,
feeding the motherfucker on the weekends when they go out, giving them money.
that's an argument that's always made with child support from the women's side or from the reception side of it is this money isn't really a lot to help, and I can see both sides of that. Like, but I mean, it's 20% of a person's income. 20% of that 20%. If you work at fucking Captain D's, making $8 an hour, 20% of your $8 is what it is. That's what I'm saying.
You work $6 an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah. Well, yeah, damn near six. Yeah, you work for
That's
six
25%.
sixty. But I get what you're saying. Um, I would like right now. I put my business out there. I have three kids, three different mothers. I pay 300 for my son a month. my oldest son. So it's 150 every 2 weeks. 100 for my daughter every week, so that's 400. And then I pay my youngest son daycare, which is 400. That is on par with 20% of my salary 3 times. So, cause we've had this discussion before where it was like, well, what?
But here's the thing, though. You got balance, though. How many times a week do you see your kid?
The 2 oldest ones, I get them every other weekend. My youngest one every other week. So I essentially see my 2 oldest ones. Out of a month, we're talking 4 days? Well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 6 days. But my youngest one is literally 50% of the time. Like it.
So on them 6 days when they need money, you give them money, right?
Yeah. Well.
So what you pay is what it costs to take care of a child, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then it's not like that you putting your children on the altar for free time, right? Like you seeing your fucking kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a situation like that, and not because we friends or nothing like that, I ain't trying to pat you on the back. But in a situation like that, like, nigga, what else can you do?
Yeah. And that was kind of my point with my statement earlier. It's if I were to get put on child support, if they were to do the numbers, you might start to see a little bit more, but it's not going to be much more. And with that comes the child support mandated visitation schedule and yada yada yada. It can get silly. Child support was designed for men that need that extra encouragement to take care of their kids. I think it should be revamped. I think it's an outdated model. But I also feel that it truly hurts motherfuckers that ain't used to take care of their kids. I'm used to it, so.
When you say outdated model, what can you explain?
So,
like I'm not. I know a little about it. I'm not, in it or nothing like that.
How it used to be, I know the state of Texas has recently updated their payment guidelines. But it used to be, so it goes off of how many kids you have in your household versus how many you have in another household. So let's say it assumed that you had kids with one woman. That was the biggest thing. Because if this woman had one kid, it's 20%, and then 5% for each additional kid after that. So you have 20%. If you have 3 kids by woman,
it's a hierarchy. It's a hierarchy. Like the oldest child get 20, middle child 10, youngest child 5.
Probably. Yeah, let's just say that. Let's just say something like that. But what would happen is if you have kids where like you got the youngest, middle, and oldest with 3 different mamas, it's not 20, 10, and 5. It's 20, 20, and 20.
Or 60% of your 60%. Cheese.
So you initially working.
Oh, that job, nigga.
So you initially working for 40% of your money. Now, Texas has changed it. So Texas has it now to where there's actually a guideline where it's like, how many kids are in this protective order and how many other kids are you take care of? And they calculate it. It's still skewed, but it's not 20-20-20 skewed. It's like 20 and then 15 and 15 or some shit like that.
But I was hearing Charleston White say Texas got a moral compass on that. Basically, you can't put a man on child support if his name ain't on the birth certificate.
I believe that's the case. When I was growing up, it was I could have swore it was you couldn't put a man on child support if the kid didn't have his last name.
Yeah, something to that degree. But it's a moral clause there
because there's so much in the last name. There's that ownership and pride, along with the fact that if we're talking about boys, if your bloodline, your heritage, is important to you like that, you're going to want to extend your bloodline. You're going to want to have men. You're going to want to have boys. And you're going to want those boys to have your last name. That keeps your name alive. I can't say that I'm real big on that, but I do get it. I got 2 boys and a girl. My daughter, she has my last name. She's going to get married. That shit's going to change. It's going to fucking change. My 2 sons have my last name. With all that being said, I think that's the rule, which it's a weird trade-off, because on one hand, all you getting is that last name, but on the other hand, there's so much pride in that.
Well, you give a child identity.
Yeah.
You know, and like I've seen a lot of sorry motherfuckers be like, man, you don't even go see your boy. you mean to tell me he got a? Oh man, dude, I got a partner. I ain't gonna put his business out there. I ain't gonna say no name, but I got a partner. His son actually filed for him to take away his parental rights and give them to another nigga. So name change and all that other shit to give it to a nigga that his mama fucking.
All right, so I'll say this though. Depending on what year you ask me about my father, my biological father, you go get 3 different versions of the same nigga. Just because. All right, so when I was growing up, me and my father weren't as close as someone would have liked, but I had a stepfather, so I wasn't really missing anything. As I got older, we're talking about now reaching into adolescence, early adulthood, you start to develop emotions, and you got testosterone, and your body's changing, and you have pent up emotions where you're not sure where to aim them. If you ain't started fucking yet, you kind of bottling everything up, right?
Yeah, you're an aggressive black man.
I found myself wanting to be angry, but I didn't have a target to be angry at. And my biological father served as that target. So, not to say I didn't have a reason to not like him, I ended up hating him for some that wasn't that serious. I was just like, nah, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know.
And now, as a mature, seasoned, even out adult, I feel sorry for him. I don't desire a relationship with him, but I don't hate him. It's just like, yeah, he's over there, I'm over here, we're doing our thing. So with that being said, I can't automatically be like, oh, nigga done fucked up, didn't see the kid. Cause if you would have caught me when I was like 15, shit, I'd be like, shit, fuck that nigga. You know? But that's not necessarily him being a fuck nigga. It's me being a pissed off teenager.
Well, the thing about it, and I'll give anecdotal experience here, or from my perspective and experiences. Yeah. Your father, for most children, it can be a sense of pride, there, right? Like, even go back to Friday, right? That's Uncle Willie's son. You know what I'm saying? And like, your father can be a source of pride. We grow up, we want to think of our fathers as Superman, right? As the strongest man in the world. My dad can beat your dad. You know what I'm saying? My pop's a little buff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and kind of like how exactly what you said, how you say you got 3 different versions of your daddy. I identify with that. I lived with my pops up until I was 10, and then when I turned like 20, I seen the nigga again, or 20 or 18, I seen him again, and my life was. So I don't give a fuck about you, nigga.
Right. Had he done anything for you to like warrant that attitude? Like, nigga, I don't give a fuck, or just like.
The nigga wasn't none. Nigga, it wasn't no check. It wasn't no birthday. It wasn't no Christmas. It wasn't nothing like that. Like, the nigga, he went on to live his life. And then, I got back to where I was a grown man in my 30s, and the nigga came and lived with us for a minute. Weird. And, he's strung out on drugs and shit now. And it's like, it's kind of like, I wanted to desire and nurture a relationship, but it's like these niggas so cold. The nigga was staying here. My granddaddy died. I ain't even get invited to my granddaddy's funeral. Dog, I live a wild life, Jack. A weird wild life. And if I told you everything, then you'll be like, how the fuck is you stable? Listen. Listen. A lot of motherfucking meditation and alcohol therapy. But just thinking about it, when you see kids today and the dad not paying child support, and today with our generation of niggas, if we, from what I've seen, niggas who don't say pay child support don't see they fucking kids. By and large, are there exceptions to the rule? Yeah. And then I know niggas who pay child support and don't see they fucking kids.
Like can't see them, or they just be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's usually a point of contention with the baby mama, right?
Like I hear the only reason I say because I hear niggas all the time be like, nigga, yeah, she wouldn't let me see my kid. I'm like, you pay child support? Yeah, well, nigga, that's your right. Like if I'm paying child support, there has to be some type of law or ordinance in here that says you have to let me see my kid. And that's the thing, like when I say about the visitation, there's a visitation order that's put into play. Now, that's not me saying that I have to get my kid on these days. That's saying that I get to get my kid on these days. So, you can't be like, I come get him and you can call the police, say I'm kidnapped it. Now, I might have to go through some hassle until we get straight. I call the police and shit, show them the motherfucking the child support order, and they tell you to get this little nigga up, and I bring him back Sunday. We have to go through that bullshit. But for motherfuckers to be like, I paid child support, but she wouldn't let me get my kid, I think a lot of that is niggas giving up too easily.
Oh, I know for a fact it is. I remember my sister with her first husband with my nephew. Her ex-husband, that nigga took her to court. She was fucked up. She was a housewife. She was fucked up. She was like, I gotta get a lawyer and all this shit. This nigga take me to court. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
And that's that circles back to my point, or that echoes my point. That shit is fucked up. But it truly hurts motherfuckers that ain't trying to take care of their kid. The motherfuckers that are trying, shit, that shit become fuel, Jack.
So I'm gonna get my boy.
That is the same thing that you will use to undo me. I'll use to my benefit. I'll use it. I want to see my kid every other week. But if I'm gonna be reduced to weekends, I'm gonna get him every weekend. I'm able to get him. It is what it is. I don't want to hear none of this. None of that. I call, hey, she tripping. It's my weekend to get the kid.
That's what my brother-in-law did. That nigga get that motherfucker every weekend. Well, he has the option to get him every weekend. Since she the custodial parent, he pay like $125, $200 a month. 100, 200 a week, I think, plus medical or some shit like that.
Insurance shit, that ain't shit. A lot of times, your insurance, once you go, you either got you and your spouse, you and your family. You and your family is the same amount whether you paying for 2 kids or 10 kids.
Oh, nigga, I sell insurance. I know, nigga. The most expensive thing is adding that motherfucking spouse.
Now, while we hitting this lick, let me explain something to you. What they don't say is when you go to tell them how much you paying, and they're like, oh, so you got to provide insurance. Do you have insurance? Yeah. How much do you pay a month in insurance? About $400. How many people on it? Shit, me. All right, so $400. That's split 2. That's $200. That's taking off $200 a month. Yeah. So like, so they eat into that.
Man, hand rub, baby.
Now you start seeing that money coming down a little bit. So you don't hit a lick, and you kind of take your wins where you get them. You know what I'm saying? That's that unspoken of lick.
So what you say? Young Anakin has brought balance to the Force.
That nigga said, "Smart he is. Trust him, we shall."
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. It's a wild concept, man. But do you think that and again, you can probably speak from more experience than I can. Do you think that it comes from why? I guess you can say us as a community, while we're in such a dark place when it comes to raising children,
Nah.
that okay, that if I can't get the pussy no more, I ain't giving you shit.
I think I think I think there's several things, but I think that there's trauma stemming all the way back to slavery and Jim Crow. I think that we that the government has benefited. The government has
Stop,
shown.
stop. Break that down for me. When you say that you think that it goes back to Jim Crow, what do you
I
mean by
think
that?
I think I think there's a lot of trauma that affects the African American community as a whole, and that trauma is linked back to slavery and what we went through the Jim Crow era, because that type of scrutiny and that type of treatment is going to leave a people scarred. And if you do not properly diagnose and treat that trauma, it's going to become transferred. And hurt people going to continue to hurt people. Now, it's going to get watered down, it's going to fade. But I think if it was me, when we go back to like that 40 acres of the mule shit, that reparation shit, I think every African American should be given 1 year of psychiatric therapy. Yeah, I want to say psychiatric. Where you talk to a therapist, you sit on the couch and tell this motherfucker about your emotions.
Ooh,
Not necessarily give you
ooh,
drugs. But,
I disagree with you so
oh,
much.
God.
I disagree. I want to be like, keep going, but I disagree
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. Post slavery, black people have and continue to this day to be the moral compass of
Yeah.
America. Post slavery, up until the mid 70s to early 80s, or Generation Z, black people led the nation in marriage, men in the household.
But and those marriages were probably as abusive as fuck.
Now, come on, Doctor Michael Eric Dyson, what the fuck? Every black man in America wasn't coming home. The white man got his foot on my neck. I hate you, bitch, and start going all clubber language on this motherfucking bitch. Hell no, man. Hell no. Black people actually will start to. There are many
Yeah.
instances where black people, we, due to that moral fabric, we started to build. You had your Black Wall Streets, your Rosewoods, your South Carolinas, North Carolinas,
The
to
first two
where black
spots
people would,
ended dramatically.
all
You,
of them did.
I didn't know exactly what you were referencing with the Carolinas, but the first two was like, but so you don't think that shit impacted all of us, like even to this day? You don't think? Because like you could have someone, you could have a girl, that could grow to be a good woman, come from a traumatic background, and she could go off and be a fucking, I don't know, a fucking president, a CEO of a company. She's still fucking crazy because she's traumatized. Like, I think people can still be functional and still need help.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I agree with that. But to slap that label on us as a whole, I strongly
Okay.
disagree. I don't think that to be fair or
Yeah.
warranted. I don't think I know for a fact how I grew up. Everybody didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like that part, and then when it comes, and just to break that down, that black people are we endure by nature. We endured the Crusades. We endured slavery. Every incident across the world, black people have endured, and have always been tight knit.
Mm.
Like we always had a subculture that was contrary to what the mass culture is, right? Like you're in Texas, I'm in Atlanta by the way of Florida. We can say certain things that only black people would understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who made when a motherfucker get out? Who made that potato salad? That's a motherfucker that knows something. They just told you something's not right with that. One or two, that shit is good as fuck.
They could be prepared to compliment. They could make an observation, or they could be speaking from a place of trauma. They want to know exactly who made the potato salad because the last time they ate some potato salad made by a certain individual, it might have fucked them up. So this time they want to make sure that individual.
It's not the reason. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying the reason why. I'm saying that universal look. Across the globe, black people, we can communicate with each other based on those looks, based on that language, based on that understanding. And it'll all be universal. Like let's say you at work and it'll be like, man, Bob in the parking lot in his car. What does that tell you?
Bob probably either in there sleep or smoking weed.
Or he finna come shoot this bitch up.
We're talking about white Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, white Bob, my apologies. Black Bob, man, that nigga, he's out there again. That's what we say about Black Bob, right? I ain't gonna say nothing. You know, but those are universal truths, right? Then on the psychology portion, right? I don't think that psychology is the way out for black folk. I don't think a lot of psychology would even help black folk. And just because if it is trauma, then even if they go get help, you still have to relive that trauma based upon where you live at. The trauma, it comes from being around fucked up individuals. See, where we used to let the best of us run our community, now the worst of us runs our community.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, that's where the trauma starts. And then also, psychology wasn't made for black folk. They used to call it a psychological disorder for a nigga to want to escape slavery. Like, it was documented. It was a psychological disorder for your black ass to not want to be a slave no more. Something's wrong with you because you don't enjoy slavery. That's why I say psychology, not it. I know we live in a culture today to where psychology is being promoted amongst black
mental
folk.
Health more so, not even just psychology. It's mental health, mental and emotional health. Yeah, I know the cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I just think that it's because that we don't have safe spaces.
Okay.
And I don't think that psychology can provide you a safe space. Sure, for a child, you can go, you got somebody you can go talk to mama and daddy about. Like, man, mama whooped my ass. Or, man, this bitch, no, she can't cook and keep insisting on making beans. Something's wrong with my mother, man. You know, like that form of psychology, yeah. A safe place to vent, yeah. But like to get the understanding that psychology would fix what we're experiencing, that's tough for me. Yeah, but and I think that when we try to throw band-aids at such a hemorrhaging problem, that it just covers up the wound, but it's still bleeding. You ever spoke to a psychologist? And how did that impact you?
It was revealing. It was relaxing. It was revealing. There was a weight lifted off my shoulders emotionally. It felt good, actually. That was venting, and then there was kind of like the direction, kind of like the same thing. Well, that's one of the reasons why I encourage these talks with you and I. Same thing with my partner Pro. Same thing with whoever, even in our chat group. it's more so like you say that venting, but it's also a communication aspect of that. I might be saying some shit because I'm truly looking for some guidance or at least conference. I might be saying some shit just because I want to talk to somebody about it. I just want to get off my motherfucking chest. And a psychiatrist gives you that space. It ain't go. A psychiatrist wouldn't tell you if you be like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make this money, and they gonna lean in and be like, well, you should bet on Chicago next week. Like, but but I mean, you're paying them, but you they have input that they can give you, or they can just sit back and listen. And they if you don't have the ability to deep dive into those emotions and thoughts on your own, they urge that or they encourage that. Me personally, I mean, shit, I could think about something and a simple, well, how did you feel about that? Shit, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So I might not necessarily need that, but I do know that I feel there's a benefit in that because from my experience in African American culture, black culture, we've looked at that like it wasn't for us. And in the process, we haven't had anybody to kind of consult with. I mean, shit, even if you run with a set, even if you run with a gang, you can talk to them niggas about some shit. I couldn't talk to a motherfucking set about anxiety. Now I can talk to grown ass niggas about anxiety. But niggas would try. I'll be like, bro, I get really nervous when I talk in front of people. Nigga, if you don't shut the fuck up. Okay. Okay.
Shit, nigga. I stop going back because I find that as I've got since post COVID, my anxiety has been on another level. Like it's almost borderline agoraphobic to some degree, right? Like I'll tell myself, man, I'm gonna go get a haircut tomorrow. Well, I mean, it's only Tuesday, so I don't need a haircut today. I probably ain't gonna go out nowhere till the weekend, so I can probably wait till Thursday. I get up Thursday, or I stay up all night Wednesday night. So when I get up Thursday, man, I'm so tired. Let me go back to sleep. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow, and hence why I got all this shit on my face, right? And it's like it's pushing it off. Like even at work now, dude, I work probably an hour a day and come back to the bed and go to sleep.
I found, like, one thing I found out about myself is if I, and this is normal with anybody, I get depressed, I want to sleep all the time just because that's my favorite escape, just to shut everything down. But whenever my anxiety gets triggered, I get so emotionally wound up that I work myself up to where I get tired, to where I get sleep because I just want to like shut everything down. That's my ultimate recluse.
Hey, for 2 days in a row, 3 days
tap
in a
out.
row.
I'm sleepy. I'm out. I'll go take me a good shit. I'm going to bed. I'm out. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying?
Same. I'm the same exact way, dog. I go, especially when I get on that, I go on that drinking binge and that motherfucking staying up till 7, 8 in the morning. Like
you mentioned the barbershop, nigga. I COVID was one of the most amazing points of my life with respect to everyone who had hardships or who lost loved ones during that period. One of the things they did was force me to start using appointments at the barbershop. Before then, I would go to the barbershop and I'm walking in that bitch like, man, I hope niggas don't start acting like niggas in this bitch. I hope I ain't gotta fire nobody ass up because they start roasting. I hope a nigga don't get confused and think he came here before I did, so now I got to argue with a nigga so I can get me a haircut. I hope all this dumbass shit don't happen. Now, I make an appointment. I pay an extra $20. But I go in. When I go in, I'm there 5-10 minutes max before I get in the chair. Get my cut out that bitch. I done seen niggas be in that bitch all day, upset in that bitch all day. I will never go back.
and see that's another thing for me, right? I'm not home. I live in Atlanta, but home is Florida. When I was home, Friday nights, I'm going to the barbershop
Yeah, I
at
was gonna ask about
nighttime
that.
when I get off work. I'm going to the
Yeah.
barbershop at night. I'm bringing a bottle. Me and my I had two barbers for
Yeah.
20 years, you know. And after I get off work, I go get a bottle, get something to eat. We go to the barbershop. We get fucked up. I get a haircut, and I'm out. I go home, get me some pussy or whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
and I'm sleep. Like that was my Friday night routine. Now I'm up here. I'm going to the barbershop about 11 in the morning. Uh, Me and my barber, we cool, but I don't know you like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into the nigga at the bar, oddly enough, and the nigga was kind of weirded out. I was too, because this nigga actually paid for his tab with exact change. I was like,
Barbers is thoughts. Like, Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, barbers are
Yeah.
the male version of strippers. But yeah, yeah,
Nigga, like, nigga, you really
yeah.
paid nigga
But
$9.58 total, nigga, for this Long Island iced tea, nigga.
and I wasn't pocket watching, but I like
yeah,
this nigga putting
you ain't
change
got to
on
be
the shit.
pocket watching. Like, you see the nigga put down, then you see the change. You're like, wait a minute, is that a nickel?
Nah, the chick was like, "You ain't gonna leave no tip," and I'm like,
I look at that nigga.
"Yeah." I told him, I like, "Hey man, I got you on a drink." Like shit,
Yeah, nigga, then mercy.
Yeah, if you fucked up, nigga, shit, just say that. But we ain't got that relationship where I can be like, man, if you fucked up,
Yeah,
I got you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's my whole. It's like a whole. Then I'm older now, so I guess it makes sense. And I don't want to be like back in the gap. You know, I'd be at the barbershop gambling, drinking, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Now,
yeah,
nigga, I'm in and out. I call the nigga at 10 o'clock. Hey, how many people you got in the none right now? You can come up here now.
yeah.
I'm on the way. And I get the first thing, probably his first cut of the day, I'm
Mm.
out. You know, we chop it up for a good 45 minutes, I'm out. And it's like, you know, that whole dynamic switch. So now my Friday nights, I'm like, shit, I'm programmed for the last 20 years to go
Yeah.
to go hang out. So now it's like, damn, the fuck I'm gonna do on Friday? You know, luckily we start doing the podcast because before then, nigga, I go out shit. Nigga, I'm going out like 8 o'clock at night, nigga, coming back by 11.
Like, fuck it. Ain't shit out there.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just part of getting old, man. Just part of getting old. But in summation, I wish Kanye the best. I hope he becomes the hero out of this
We'll
story
see.
arc.
Kanye lost me as a fan back years ago. It's hard for me to say. Like, I don't wish no evil on no niggas, man. I watch it. I'm watching the Kanye movie. I put it like that.
You just want to watch. It's some men who just
I'm
want to
just
see the
watching.
world burn, Mr. Bro.
Send everybody down the forest. Yeah, yeah. And I watched like, hey man, Kanye, he a trip. I'm glad this is dark. I'm anxious. I'm anxious for him to climb back and get that Yeezy shoe, throw it back at old Kim, try to get that child support reduced. And she be like, nah, you back at the bed. She grab that motherfucker, start crawling that bitch. He'll have his new Iceland model chick or whatever. She come through, slit her throat. Then he'll understand.
So right now
Yeah, right now
he's in the dark world.
This is the side part where he just rambling and shit. He ain't got no relationship with Jay no more. He just...
It's fucked up how the parallels are working here, man.
You're spot on with it. Just like when you was like Avengers, Avengers. That whole the Infinity War saga was New Jack City. same shit. It's the same shit. Same shit.
Nick, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So this what got him going crazy, huh? Let's say what Loki has put together, may no man put asunder.
Planet living, just enough for to sit there. Living. Never come out that portal, just enough. That
Yes,
right.
indeed.
He had the reality stone and shit, turn the shit into bubbles and shit.
Oh, nigga, that was Iron Man with Ice-T, nigga, for real. I want to kill you so bad, my dick hard. Live. Yes, indeed, man. But shit, look like we done ran out of time, man. We made it without a break.
Huh?
Yeah, we made it without a break, man.
Time. I'm sobering up, but like, if we gonna do another hour,
Yeah,
I won't need another break.
I'm ready to hop on this game, hop my funky ass in the shower, and try to go get a haircut tomorrow morning.
I'll think about it this weekend. Fuck that shit.
For sure, man. Well, nigga, I'm up, man. Catch you on the next go round, nigga. For sure.
This is INMF.